Man, thanks, man, for having me.
Right on.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
And I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Oh, man, so awesome.
To show you.
I look good.
Hey, I'm just loving that you have the shirt today. Like, this is just amazing. Like, you just got me at the door.
We all need money.
What up, everybody? It's your boy J5, and welcome to the Block Podcast, where we focus on entrepreneurial growth as well as social issues and injustices that surround the urban community, bringing to you real-life experience for the advancement of business development. Now, let me show a little love to my boys over ROI Health and Safety, so let's get it. Whether it be business or personal, you need professionals that can supply you with all your personal protection equipment. So when it comes time to have masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, or reliable disinfectants for the studio to keep me and my guests safe, I know ROI Marketing and Safety have got me and my guests covered. So log on to www.roippe.com or drop them an email at sales@roippe.com and let them keep you and yours safe. Let's step out on the block. Our guest today is very involved in the community, the urban community here in Indianapolis, Indiana. He's from Indianapolis, Indiana, and has an awesome story to where he's been, to where he's at, and to where he's going. He is the founder of Circle Up Indy and also the host of the new Circle Up Podcast coming soon. He is a true representative of Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'd like for you to welcome to the Block Podcast, Mr. James Wilson of Circle Up Indy. Welcome to the Block Podcast, my man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Oh, man. It's a pleasure to have you, my man. It's a pleasure to have you, brother. Let everybody know, man, who you are, man, what you represent, man, what you got going on. We gonna get into, man. We gonna get into the podcast, man. We gonna get into the festival this year. We gonna put you up there. Let's do what you do, man.
Brother Nelson.
Tell them who you are, man.
My name is James Wilson. My name, of course, James Wilson, CEO of Circle Up Indy. It's a grassroots nonprofit, and we focusing on right now socioeconomic development.
Okay. And what with that? Where you headed with that?
Gotcha. Right now, as you see, we see the housing crisis already take effect for those who are paying attention, for those who are not.
Okay.
30 to 40 million individuals in America are going to be disproportionalized by housing up for evictions. My biggest thing is counter that, help families become stable. We're going to start our renter-to-own program that we want to do with our container home housing initiative.
Okay. And that's, you know what, I just saw in Chicago, they're doing, they called it I guess, reparation type program, and they're giving $25,000 to individuals of color that are want to buy a home.
Yeah.
And they're using 3% of the sales tax off of marijuana to do it.
Phenomenal. Yeah, because they did. Yeah. That makes sense, though.
Yeah. So you're definitely on the right path, man. I think that's, definitely one of the ways of financial freedom.
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, I wanted to speak to you about that too, because I'm a big fan of financial freedom. I believe that, I don't believe that no one's coming on a white horse. No one's coming with a cape.
Yep.
No one's coming to save us.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? There will be no reparations. You know what I mean? If we're gonna get back on our feet, if we're gonna become sufficient, it's us.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do it. It's not gonna be someone come in and say, "Hey, I got you."
Save us. The 40 acres in the mill, we still waiting.
It ain't gonna. It's not coming. You know what I mean? I just and I believe that financial freedom is the way, the only way.
Yep.
I believe we've been attacked truly twice in this country.
Ooh.
Truly twice.
How would you say that?
I would say that because, in one, the first one, you could actually argue it if you wanted to, because we were already trapped. Slavery, we were already trapped. So, I mean, you can call it attack if you want, but you were already caught. So, however you want to do it, you know what I mean? But the second one I look at is, Black Wall Street.
Reconstruct Era 1. I see you.
Because that was the time that we tried to help ourselves.
Yeah. What happened with that?
You see what I'm saying?
Give a little history on that.
Why did you get attacked, though?
Ooh.
What was the point then, though?
Ooh. Economics.
You've done a few things. We as a culture, we've done a few things. Mm-hmm. But why then?
Economics. Too powerful. They don't want you in
because that was your freedom.
Yep. They don't want you in a circle.
They seen it. They seen your freedom. Mm-hmm. They seen that you've seen it.
Mm-hmm. And if you get in that game, what they gonna do? Shut
there
it
you
down.
go.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, man. Always.
Hey, man, hey, because I see that, man, that you're a big fan of the financial stability in the community, you know what I mean? And so I just wanted to, touch on that and, how important you thought that was for us to, to get and to get us back on track.
You hit it, brother. I think you said it the best. I mean, that's the focal point, and it is the focal point. Do you think we get out here and sell drugs and want to be the coolest person because it's woken up every day? It's in our literature to go out and be a drug dealer. That's not the reality. The reality is for us a constant state of survival. That's why we focus on socioeconomic trauma. If you look at socioeconomic trauma, it looks at the root causes of why problem, situation, and things exist. Okay. We can't, it's like a weed, right? When you just take the lawnmower and hit the weed once, next week that weed comes back more aggressive. Exactly. So if we get to the root, right? We get to the root of that weed and dig that weed up, we understand where that weed come from. And so what we're seeing right now in society, we got a lot of politicians. I'm going to keep it real. Can I keep it real, brother?
Man, you're on the block, bro.
Say no more. We're going to keep it real. We even got some, not all, some of the major nonprofits. And if we look at the historical stance, one thing they do in nonprofits, they always look at data statistics. Okay. So let's hit you with some data statistics. Let's look at the funders. The funders have this whole inclusion on racial equality and development and diversity, but it's just a conversation right now. What they're doing is they're giving all the money to the main organizations that's been doing it since my mom been alive. Right. What has changed? You give a little data statistics and say, hey, look, this is developed, that is developed. Then why are we still dealing with poverty till this day in greater numbers? Yeah. Why do we still have so many blacks? I got data that I pulled in Marion County and the surrounding counties. How many blacks actually own homes compared to renters? Right. Because we have this, not saying that being a renter is bad, but during the crisis that we're going through right now, rent's increasing. They don't have an opportunity to even manage that property at all. That's somebody else's property. So if they say they want to increase it $500, you can't even argue because you have no ownership. Right. You either have to come with the money, move, or be evicted. Where are we creating levels of economic, strong social stability? Exactly. Yeah.
See, I'm on board, man. 110% with you on that one, man. So, man, where did the idea for Circle Up come from?
Man,
where that stem from?
I can't take the full credit. When I first started, Fox V9 did an interview on me about the work I was doing at Ivy Tech.
I saw it.
So when I came home from prison, I wanted to volunteer and give back. I wanted to show, because all my friends thought I was going to get back in the streets, even families. Yeah. Even family. And I can't get mad at them because ever since I was a kid, every time I got locked up, I've been in and out of juvenile, from juvenile to adulthood. I've been in every unit in that dang on juvenile. And I figured that was my way of life. Right. When I went to prison, I had some brothers that took to me and taught me some things. I wasn't one of the ones that went to prison and just all of a sudden caught religion. Right. I didn't even believe in God. It took years for me to understand the essence and the beauty of the existence of God and what he can really do if you trust in him and believe in him. Exactly. And I got bumped upside the head quite a few times. Like, he ran my head into the wall hard. And it woke me up. But Circle Up came about when they did the interview with Fox V9 on me and volunteering. And I was scared because I was like, I just wanted to get back. But they felt that I had a story to tell given where I came from. And so in the community, when they was doing the interview, we walked down from the house I grew up in. And the lady a couple houses down was sitting at the end of the steps after the interview. And she said, tell them about my house getting shot up. Tell them there ain't no politicians come over to fix our sidewalks in our street. And I'm like, whoa.
I was just trying to walk down the street, but okay.
I don't even know this arena at all. And I didn't, but they needed hope. Right. they needed inspiration. They needed faith. They need action.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I got to do something. And so after the interview, I looked at Aisha Husseini with Fox 59 at the time. She's the one that did the interview. And I looked at her and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but we need to meet. We got to do something. And so I sat down. I brought a group of community members together, a lot of organizations. Fox and them was at the table. And Aisha is one of the original founders of Fox. I have to give her credit for that because of her, she gave me opportunity to grow grow Circle Up in a phenomenal way. And so we all sit in the meeting and we kept trying to figure out, and I wanted something around Circle, the city. I wanted something focused around the city, what we engage. And then one of the staff person said, because at first we was thinking about on the Peace Festival, how Circle came up just downtown on the Circle. Then I was like, I don't want it on the Circle. I said, I need it to be in the community so people can get access to it.
Right.
And they was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And so we was like, we can call it Circle, and we played on names, and then Circle Up, and then Circle Up Indy. There's like, we in Indianapolis, so Circle Up Indy. And so that's how it kind of came about.
Huh. All right. Cool.
Bringing everybody together.
The block was a little simpler than that, but
I know, so complicated. I'm dang, Nelson, don't stand on me now, bro.
the block, that's it. There we go.
I know, but hey,
some
it's strong though, man. So it does. It has a little bit of strong significance to me, given that where we come from, all of us, not just the ones who started with me, all of us. We had to circle up and come together. That village that you and I was talking about, and losing that hate, that anger, and that frustration. And more importantly, is that pride. My mom used to always tell me pride would come before the fall.
Boy.
Man, she's so true about that.
Oof. Boy.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's, I think that's a huge problem, man, that plagues our community.
Yeah.
That why I have to be better than you, fresher than you, doper than you all the time.
Yeah.
Why can't we both just be dope? I don't see
us.
Why can't we just be dope? You know what I'm saying? Like,
even if I got sandals on the t-shirt, I'm still feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I mean? But I think, that's something we definitely got to work on,
Facts.
as a people. Now, I heard you make a statement, and I'm thinking it was in that 59 interview.
Okay.
And you said you can't fear the people that you put in office.
Ooh.
And the reason why that stuck out to me, like I said, I watched the whole interview. But the reason why that stuck out to me is because I had a friend of mine, Aaron Green,
Okay.
on here, and he had made a statement in one of his speeches similar, and that's the reason why it's like, ding, the minute I heard you say it, I was like, well, wait a minute, wait a minute, something might have something going on here, because his statement was, how can you protect what you fear?
Ooh.
And so you see,
I do.
Yeah, you see the likeness, and
I
I'm
do.
like, okay. I said, well, I want to know why you said what you said. Where did that statement come from? You can't fear the people you put in office.
I dig that. I'm gonna hit you hard on this one. So this may upset a lot of friends I got that's in politics and stuff, but it needs to be said. They're afraid to really tackle the issues that exist. They're afraid to connect with the people that they serve. They're afraid because they want to stay in circles. And if you come outside of circles and you go too hard outside of them circles, you lose friendship. I lost a lot of friendship because I went outside of the circles. Till this day. I'm not a circle type person. And so you can't fear the people that you serve. Listen, till this day, even with COVID, I keep my distance. I go to families and individuals' houses because no matter what platform that God ever gave me, I don't care. I would never be better than where I come from. And a lot of times they can't understand where they come from because they want to forget about it.
Man,
that's deep and it's real. I would never forget about, because
that's my foundation.
If you don't have that, you don't have a foundation. I'm not saying go out and be in the streets. You have to be a part of it or anything of the mixture. It's just understanding that struggle that existed to get you where you're at now.
See, I need to be paying attention right now. Just beam in real quick. This man's talking about something. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It gets real. I mean, like I sent a post out on Facebook a couple months ago saying, where's the real people in Indianapolis? I'm not saying there's not no real people here.
Right.
But what we have touch point people. And I think a good friend of mine, and I have to give this brother like a lot of love because I had a meeting with him yesterday. And he said something that brought a lot of clarity to me. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm somewhat intelligent. I don't know. I'm not that smart. But he talked about the fork in the road. And the analogy he gave on the fork in the road, he said, you got the people that are ones that want to be accepted, and then you got the free people. which one you want to be. So
Wow.
in this piece, I say that because we have some, not all politicians. I got some they're good friends of mine. I can tell you now they go hard, but I always tell them when I first meet them, if they don't serve the people and meet the bases of the people, they're not my friends. And I stand on it and I tell them.
Okay.
And I mean that because the people in the community means a lot to me and you. They're us. They're our family. They're our friends.
Exactly.
They're not just I'm not just serving just the Martindale Brightwood. I'm serving the city of Indianapolis.
I'm not helping those people. I'm helping
our families. That's what it is.
There you go.
This is our families.
That's the disconnect. Those people.
Yeah, those people. Those are not those people.
Those people. What do you mean?
Come
those
on,
people?
man. My families that's out there. 'Cause the people in the community.
My people.
They're my families. When I go to the barbecue dinners and they cook and make sure I'm eating, because they always talk about how little I am. They say you run around so much, James. I got mothers in the community. My mother died last year.
Oh, sorry.
And it still bothers me. But the love that my community give me, they stepped up and became the mother.
That's what's happening, man.
They was there by my side. It wasn't a lot of the politicians. It was a few that actually, gave me condolences and showed me love. But like my mom always taught us about being inclusive. And the community is your village and your family. I got a whooping next door from Miss Such for ripping a run and been gone outside the house because mama was gone to work.
Oh, yeah.
But we can't do that because that disconnection that we have. And so I would say this for all those in office. I respect your title and position. But more importantly, I respect you who you are as an individual. Don't be afraid to get out here and show love and support those. I know it's so much you can and can't do, but transparency goes a long way. If you talk to us, we ain't stupid.
Yeah, boy.
And some of the greatest lessons I ever learned in life is for the people right there in my ghetto.
Man.
Facts.
Yeah, and I spoke on that before. If you, be who you are. You know what I mean? Because if you think you can go out here and you can help these guys, these people, and you're not being who you really are, well, good luck when they find out who you really are. That's all I'm saying. It's just good luck. I hope it works out for you.
They ain't trying to hear you. You gotta be on all 10 toes, man.
Boy, I hope I hope it works out, but I don't think it will because it's just not how it goes. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's get to your big thing coming up. About to jump off the Circle Up Indy Podcast.
Oh man, I'm scared.
And this coming through. Is it now? Who's backing you on this?
I'm going to give you a lot. When you ask me a question, I'm about to hit you because I'm still nervous. I'm still learning.
Is it Wish TV?
Wish TV is all Indiana Broadcasting Network, which is associated with Wish TV and Circle City Media. And it's very huge. So
okay, how did that relationship between you guys? How did that come about?
If you want to know the honest answer, Mr. McCoy, please don't kill me for this. But I got a new phone.
Okay.
And so when I got a new phone, because my phone kept acting crazy, I get a text message probably about a month or so ago, late in the evening, and I was asked. Now, mind you, as I tell you the story, because I'm still shocked about this. I didn't know who it was at the time because I got a new phone, so all my numbers didn't port over. So if I did have it saved, I didn't know. Right. But I wasn't trying to be rude in the conversation, so I'm trying to catch on. Now, sometimes somebody texts you, like, I don't know who this is. Let me see if I can ask a few questions, bounce around and see. And so I'm bouncing around trying to figure out and see. So I'm keeping it real. I'm just being all the way real. And so I didn't know who it was. Now, mind you, I'm like, okay. He texted me, asked me about a podcast. First, I asked how I was doing. I'm like, all right, cool. And he asked me about a podcast. You want to start your own podcast? I never really looked at myself as doing anything like that. I just like helping people. Right. And so I was like, it took me a while to answer back because, sometimes some people try to rule you in on stuff. And the position I'm in, I love when people come to me and want me to help market them and advertise them all about it. But you have some that are selfish too, that try to use your platform to their benefit. And so I'm always careful. And so I was like, okay, yeah, heck yeah, what's up? He was like, well, I'll call you first thing in the morning. Still, keep in mind.
You don't know what it is yet. Full-blown conversation. Then agreed to something and everything. I was just talking to.
Okay. So I was like, all right, cool. So I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, usually somebody come with an idea, they tell me something, they never really follow up. And so the next morning I get up, it's about 9:30. Never forget this conversation. The brother called me. So, mind you, Still don't know who it is.
Right, yeah.
So I'm trying to filter out and see if I can figure out the voice, if I recognize the voice of somebody I talk to more often. Because sometimes my friends call me and we go months without talking, but when we link up, it's like, what's up? And I have to think for a minute. I'm like, okay, who is this? You don't know who I am? Oh, okay, you play too much.
Yeah,
you know how that go.
Then you know who it is.
And so I'm listening to the voice and I'm listening to the conversation, and the conversation really touched me. And it hit me hard. I was like stuck. I was nostalgic. It brought me back to my younger days and how I used to think and how I used to have this aspiration to be somebody and go somewhere, but I never believed in myself. And so he's delivering, he's telling me, he's like, I want to give you a podcast. And I'm like, okay. He's telling me how his production team where the podcast would be shot at and so on and so forth. And I still, once again, don't know who this is. So I'm like, I'm hearing all this great talk and all this great stuff.
Right.
I'm like, okay, cool. He told me, he said, what really hit me was like, man, my mom been following you for a long time. She loves the way you talk as a strong black man and where you come from.
Wow.
And I was like, huh? And he's like, yeah, man. He said, my mom's 76 years old. When I told her I was going to get the podcast, she said, heck, yeah, I'm great. Listen to him.
Wow.
And so I was honored. I still don't know who it is. So he was like, brother, I got to get off the phone. Very, very pleasant, strong black man who I have a lot of respect for. So he got off the phone. I still don't know. So I'm like, all right, I'll check my email in a minute. So my email's pinging because he told me to check my email prior to us getting off. So my email's jumping. So I get on the email. I see, welcome to the team. Great job, James. Awesome. Looking forward to working with you. And I see him from his staff. So I get to the bottom of the email and I see the name. I jumped up and started screaming. I did, because it was DeJuan McCoy, owner and president of Wish TV8.
Wow.
Him directly gave me a podcast because he felt that the message that I have to deliver and what I need to say on behalf of the people needs to be powerful. It needs to be real, authentic. It needs to be genuine. It needs to get results, more importantly. We're not launching a podcast to be on top or anything like that. I never thought that anybody seen me in that perspective. That's not why I do this work or whatnot. But yeah, that's how it kind of all started. That's how it all kind of came about, and I'm honored for such a great opportunity, but I'm scared.
I mean, that's amazing. You know what, man? I'm going to tell you, and I've said this before, and I'll say it to you. And I heard this from, and I still don't know the billionaire's name that said it, but I know he was a billionaire. And he said, when someone offers you an opportunity, he was like, now, of course, there's things. If someone offered you to be an astronaut, then you should, probably be like, well, no, this is above me. No, I shouldn't do that. But if it's something within the realm of what you believe that you can do, you take it and you figure it out once you're in there.
I do that.
And I think this is your moment. You take it, you figure it out, because you're resourceful, man. You look at your background and where you made it to so far. You made it to that phone call.
Yeah.
To make it to that phone call, well, that means you're resourceful.
I give God the glory. My biggest thing about the podcast, he has a lot that comes behind it. There's media attention, and that, and this and the other. This is not why I do it for. I do it for us. I'm going to be a very powerful voice, but more importantly, everybody got to understand, if they ever got a chance to know me before you point the finger, because this is not about me, and I'm going to make sure that's very clear.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And it's the realism, that comes from people, man, that are genuine of the work that they do. Is I love it. I love what you guys do. You know what I mean? Because I advocate for that all the time. You know what I mean? So anybody I see, doing something for the community and going hard and being who they are, not who they think people want them to be, or you know what I mean, or well, in front of this camera I gotta do, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what you said. Can I keep it real? Yeah, you on the block. Of course, yeah, you can. I'll run this.
All the way. All the way.
Yeah, you know what I mean. There won't be any fake anything on here. You know what I mean? And I love putting out. The reason why I started it, I wanted to put out the positivity. I like, the stories. You know what I mean? And hearing the stories, the comebacks, and you know what I mean, all that. I love it, man. Now I wanted to touch on this, and this is the little downer maybe, but I know that you're involved, and just wanted to get your take on this, the tragedy last week, with the family, the
quadruple
horrible. Just on so many levels, it's horrible. On so many levels. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not, and I know that some people might say, "Well, he's trying to be funny." I'm not trying to be funny because, to be honest, that the one a month and a half before, and now this one, to have just two black people to commit acts like that in the same city that close is unheard of.
Correct.
And so the first thing I went to, and I'm not saying this to play this off, because if it is, it is. If it ain't, it ain't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't try to wash something down because, you know what I mean, oh, they black. You know, no, if you out of line, you're out of line. I don't care what you are.
Facts.
Period. But mental illness, man. It was the first thing that came to my mind. Because it's so uncharacteristic for us to do something like that. And I was just like, man.
You hit it dead on the nose. And I don't be afraid to talk about it. And you shouldn't have to apologize at all, because it's exactly, I'm aware of both scenarios in full detail. Yeah. And both scenarios surrounding just that. And then we're not identifying it in the black community because we've been ashamed of it for so long. Yeah. This is real. Yeah.
And I said, man, I want to know what you think of that, of what you know what I mean, how that, you know what I mean, like you said, in our community and it being quiet, we don't, for some weird reason, you know, we'll say it though. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he crazy. He crazy. You know
but we don't take it in his literal sense.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about no doctors and nothing like that. No.
You know, we say we don't go to no white people, and this is what we say.
Yeah, why you think that is, man? Why is that such a stigma for us?
Because we never really been taught about it. Because we never really been taught about it, we become ignorant to the identifications of it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
We don't know how to properly identify. We just say he's crazy, but literally he could be going through something psychologically.
Yeah.
And so we have to become more aware of what mental health looks like in the black community, because it may not be the same for the whites, or it can be correlations and could be the same. Allow me to be frank. I'm going to be real. I'm going to put myself out there a little bit. I went to prison at 17, 18 years old, and I came home at 26. First in my mind, I think I had life and everything together when I first came home. The mental health component that existed behind it is beyond what you can possibly imagine. Luckily, I was able to start identifying some of the issues that I was having, and I was afraid at first to go ask for help and support, but I started going to ask for help and support so I can get a better understanding of me, so I can sit here and be able to talk about it articulately.
Exactly.
And talk about it without being ashamed.
Yeah.
And so what we got to do is start identifying those factors. If we don't know, there's resources out there. I'll get you connected with some resources. Get with me. There's not a big overhaul like it used to be for mental health here when we had the mental health hospitals, the great ones, Rue Carter and so on and so forth. They're gone. And so we're trying to find new ways to treat mental health. It's a lot of different organizations, initiatives, political leaders and all, because mental health connects to the aspect. Remember we talked about at the beginning when you asked me what we're focusing on? Socioeconomic trauma. You have to understand what that means. Again, socioeconomic trauma is looking at all the factors that play at why individuals go through socioeconomic trauma, from mental health, drug addiction, violence, finance, job development, all education, all these factors that lack thereof puts us in the state of survival.
All right, that's a state of survival. Yeah. That's, you know what, I don't remember what I was listening to, but it said if you're in a state of survival constantly, then what time do you have to better yourself?
You're not going to think about the time to better yourself. You're going to think about the time to survive.
Yeah. And it was just what you just said. I was like, yeah, okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I know, that the mental illness with us is just, and I mean, actually, you know what I'm saying? In like, somebody could, like, I've been, you know what I mean? I had cats that, you know what I mean, had mental issues, and they would like we'd all be kicking it, you know what I mean, or whatever, and then like they leave, and then you actually hear someone say, man, I think really he got something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we won't say nothing.
Nope.
We'll say in that little circle, but that's it. We ain't gonna, We ain't gonna try to do nothing about it. You know what I mean?
Nah, we good. He got to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we say. That's what we say.
Yeah. He'll get right.
Yeah, he get right.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, give him that beer, man. Give him that joint. Call it a day.
Yeah, you know, and then I feel so sad, man, for that family, for both of those families, man, and what they have to go through, and I can't even come close.
I'm gonna tell you the resilience, though. I'm gonna tell you the resilience about those families. I had the pleasure to interact with both. This is the beauty about coming from where we come from as strong Black people. What we go through and what we have been through for centuries in tragedy, the strength and the resilience that is given to us is definitely hereditary. Mm-hmm. The strength and the resilience that I've seen both of both families are beyond amazing. It is so hard.
Nah, I can't even imagine it, man.
To sit there and have to bury your kids.
Yeah.
Your grandbaby.
Yeah.
Your cousin, your daughter, your sister, your auntie, your friend.
Yeah.
Baby daddy, child's father. It's hard.
Yeah.
Especially at a young age.
Then the reason behind it, you're just like,
the last situation with the quadruple homicides, it all stems from socioeconomic trauma, the survival state. That brother felt that he was entitled because he got to get ahead just to survive, taken away from his own, not thinking, and then with the mental health component that exists behind it. It's tragic.
Man. Yeah, I definitely, you know what I mean, those two definitely stood out to me because I said, man, that's just not characteristic of us.
It's not at all.
You know, that's not our thing, you know. I mean, of course, I know it can happen, but I mean, like I said, for twice in the same city that close, so I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
We pray to God that we have no more.
Boy, no more. I'm real. I've heard a few stories of them, you know, and I wanted to speak to you about one of those incidents that I've heard of, and that's the Douglas Park. The celebration?
Yep.
Your celebration?
Yep.
Okay, and I've heard that, and then it's something else that I heard that they're totally redoing the community center.
Yes, so
totally, they put millions of dollars into it.
They are. You're talking about the Circle City Forward initiative by the mayor and organization working with the mayor. With Circle City Forward, they invested $190 million into Indianapolis, one of the biggest infrastructure developments that they've seen in the city. Out of that $190 million, they're allocating $20 million for the redevelopment of the new Frederick Douglass Rec Center, which is phenomenal.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you a little bit about that because that goes deep, and I love it. I have to give a shout out to Miss Frankie Cosell, president of Frederick Douglass, and I have to give a shout out to Miss Amy Hartwell and their team, former president of One Voice. They fought for years to see that facility build and grow behind the scenes. Yeah. They wasn't on TV.
Right.
They went to another. They had the city county council. They had politicians here, and they're not just talking to them. They're screaming at them like, "Look, this needs to happen."
Yeah. And it does, man.
It does.
So we need those community centers, man. Those, you know what I mean? We need construction back in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We need jewelry back in high school. We need, you know what I mean? We need those. I remember in high school that if you came to our high school, Washington High School, at 4:30, school let out at like 3:30. Okay, if you came to our school at 4:30, an hour after school was let out, you would not know the difference.
Yes. That changed a lot, hasn't it?
It'd be so many kids still there because there's so much to do.
Everybody run home now. The school's empty. It's like crickets.
Yeah, straight to the street.
Yep, go play video games, hang out. We're not social as we should be anymore.
Yeah.
And the importance of being social is beyond all measures because it allows us to make that connection to understand one another. Yeah. To build those bonds and network. We don't have that anymore. We go home, sit on the block, smoke some weed, and play video games and call it a day. We lost that connection. I remember we used to play hopscotch. See the girls playing hopscotch outside. Man, they out there playing hopscotch. I'm like, man, I'm trying to see who I'm gonna talk to. I'm on my bike.
Well, it's crazy because if you'd have told me, you know, no, you can't go outside today, I would have lost my mind. You just killed my whole world. Yeah. You know, now if you tell a kid to go outside, you just crashed his whole world.
Oh, they get mad.
Wait a minute.
Is that backwards?
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. Hold on. How did we get?
Yeah. to want to.
How do we get there?
I'm trying to get you outside. You get on my nerves, but you don't want to go outside.
No.
How are we gonna do this? Because we used to fight over this? Like, well, we couldn't go outside, and we did anything.
Yeah.
Mama, what you want done? Dishes?
Yeah.
Trash?
As long as we get out there.
Period.
We had to get out there.
Period. And if we got to be in by the lights out, we try to get out there early so we do what we need to do so we can go play.
Like, man, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah,
It's
remember that.
you know, and we need those programs back, man. Now, bad, man. I mean, we need them really bad, man.
Well, I'm gonna play devil advocate with you in a little bit on the programming. Programs are essential by all means, and they have been.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in a phase now in life that we're beyond programs.
Mm-hmm.
These young cats are so focusing on dollars and cents.
Yeah.
The only way you would catch them was with that.
Yeah.
You put them in a program. I'm not saying all, but if you want to catch the ones that really want to make a difference, you say you really want to change the streets and how and what, you got to get on the pavement. It goes back out there, knowing the people that you're supposed to represent.
Yeah.
But once you make that connection, you develop programs that can actually instill dollars in their pocket and really see strong entrepreneurial bases. My thing is with Circle Up, I don't want to tell anybody, not even an older person or a kid, they need to wait till they're 67-year-old to retire. It's not the reality all the time.
No.
If that's the reality, then Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark
Damon
Zuckerberg,
John.
all of them,
name 'em.
they need to wait till they're 67 years old to have what they have now in the platform they got because they started this at younger ages. They started these in their 20s.
Right.
Some of them in their teens.
Yeah.
So we need to get that innovative entrepreneurial spirit back, especially in particular to our Black and Latinos, especially with our Blacks. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with working for anybody, but don't get content if you have an idea.
Exactly.
Picasso said anything that you imagine is real. The problem that we have, if it's not tangible and we can't see it, touch it, or whatnot, hear it, that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily true.
No. That's one of our biggest things, man, is life insurance.
Facts.
If it and here's the thing is, and then I get it, that times get tough, and you got to let some things go here or there, you know what I'm saying, and those things, and like they say in the business world, security is the first thing to go when they start cutting back.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Well, insurance and things like that is what people start cutting back on. When things get tight. And my thing is that I understand that, but unless you hit the lottery and you get a large sum of money at one time,
Yeah.
and you could pass that on
Yeah.
to you through your family or whatever, then okay. But if that is not the case, in which it is normally not with our people,
Yeah.
then this needs to be attacked chunk by chunk.
Yeah.
So my little chunk goes to my kids, and then they take that chunk and it gives them a little bit more freedom than I had. Just a little bit more, not a lot, but a little bit more to make a little bit more better choices.
Yeah.
They can gives them more choices,
Yes.
and then they can do that for theirs, and then it gives them a little bit more choice, and then
It's kind of generational wealth to me. That's what it sounds like.
exactly.
Sure enough, and I'm with you. And so I want to go back to
Talk
what
about
it. I do, because it's all connected
Talk
to the
about
Peace Festival. The Peace Festival means more to me than what possible people can imagine.
Explain the Peace Festival
Gotcha.
to those who've never been or don't know. First.
Every year since our beginning, for the most part, when we have money, we hold an annual event called the Peace Festival.
Okay.
The goal of the Peace Festival is getting people directly connected to resources that they may not know about. So if you got an organization that pays light bills, rent, gas, utilities, job employment, developmental training for education, facturations are like that, then we want to bring them directly to the people. They shouldn't have to catch the bus way on the other side of town to meet such, and trying to find a bus ticket to get there, because I experienced it and seen it.
Oh yeah.
So if we can bring the resources directly there, our goal is to help minimize a lot of the excuses why they can't succeed.
Exactly.
We're bringing it to you.
Okay.
It's on you now to get involved. That's the beauty of free will, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
the goal of the Peace Festival is connect everybody. And not only that, it goes back to what you just stated when you used the analogy that when we was kids, we used to love going outside. Now we want to sit in the crib.
Yeah.
It's to get everybody out to know one another too. I remember Miss Ray and Miss such down the street, and how they come out every week and cut their grass, and Mr. Ray, like his grass cut particular, right?
Yeah.
Those factors, we have understanding of one another.
Yeah.
We don't have that in our community no more. We're scared to connect, or when we look at somebody, what are you looking at? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, just the connectability, resource availability, and not only that, more importantly, I always invite the politicians out, because when that lady told me in the first interview about her house getting shot up, she said she tried to call a counselor, she tried to call these people, and nobody's going back to respond. Why not talk to your people directly? Remember we just talked about? There's no use to serving if you can't come out and be spoken to, even if they're aggressive. You think people don't come at me sometime and stand on me to get the work done? They do, and I listen.
Right.
Do the same. So I brought everybody together to hold everybody accountable, be engaged, be involved in developmental opportunities and aspects.
Oh, and when is the Peace Festival?
July 10th of this year, and so we got some announcements that's coming up. I'm gonna give a little snippet about a few little things.
Okay.
We wanted to throw a national concert because of COVID. We're running through a lot in funding.
Right.
My goal is, this is my goal. I can't say I'm 100% it's gonna happen, but my goal to kind of get a snippet is to see if I can get a car dealership to donate 1 or 2 cars and do a giveaway. The first one I want to do a letter. And I want a letter for a family, individual, or somebody that's in need of the car and the importance of what that car would mean to them.
Okay.
So those who are donating will understand how much of an impact that they made. It's not just saying here, it's an importance of what you're doing.
Exactly.
That's one thing. So I'm going to need the people help. So I can't get this done unless you have the people back behind us support. So please give me ideas. And the other car, I want to do a raffle off in the community and whatnot. And it's just really getting everybody there. We're looking to bring a carnival. We're still negotiating deals. Our funding is very tight this year because of they don't want to fund a little guy like me, to be frank. I'm too little. They think I think outside the box, and I don't think outside the box. I think along the verges of what needs to be done. And COVID has a huge part to do with with our funding this year too.
Okay.
And we're doing the best we can. So if we have to scale back, we're still going to try to make it bang. So we're still looking for more funders, supporters, and whatnot to make the event pop and happen.
Okay. Cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely gonna swing by.
Come on out.
Check you out. You already know, man. Okay, now, and I saw that you guys have. I wanted to make sure that we spoke on a few of your programs. Your in-home juvenile nursing program.
Yes.
The Circle Up puts on and the community organization partnerships.
Yes. So what we're doing, we are unveiling our Spirit of the City. We're looking to get a press release together, kind of give you a better highlight on some of the things you just talked about. We rebranded and reshifted a lot of what we're doing. And the reason we rebranded and shifted a lot, we initially tried to focus on the resources. But as we started doing the work and get more inclined on what's really going on in our community, it's like it's beyond resources. We need to build wealth. We need to build their own level of stability. How can we help them become stable so they can become self-sustainable, right? And so I moved it from the perspective of just building programs and stuff like that and focusing on our 8-point initiative. Our 8-point initiative will be launched in our 1 to 5 year development. The 3 things that we have launched right now, we're launching our Peace Festival, which is July 10th, and just everybody engaged, interacting, getting everybody at the house and have fun and get connected to resources, especially for the supported resources they need from rent, utilities, and so on and so forth. Okay. Some of our partners will be out there. The next thing that we're pushing, while we're pushing the Peace Festival, which is one of my most aggressive pieces and will be for some time, is my housing initiative called PUSH.
Okay.
Our push focusing on individuals with criminal histories, drug addiction, and everything. We want to create a drug addiction recovery house. Not only that, it creates a streamline of job opportunities. As we build these homes and reach our goals to reach our $2.8 million initiative for 15 homes in the first year, moving in, once we acquire the 15 homes, it'll allow us to move in mass production next year of 100 homes a year after that throughout the city of Indianapolis, starting in Brightwood in particular.
Okay.
With that push initiative, it's a whole wraparound piece. I always look at what they call the 360 effect. If I build anything out, I just don't want to build one thing. Here's a job, here's a house, and there you go. It's going to be a unique outline in that lease. It would be a lease like no other. We're accepting people with evictions, criminal histories, and all. Our goal is to get them along the way. And not only do you get involved in our housing, but we give you what they call our community conductor, which is our one-on-one case manager. Okay. That one-on-one case manager will help and assist you with all the barriers that's along the way.
Okay. Of the housing.
Not just the housing, anything. So the housing. So say, for instance, you say, when we build the houses, you say, hey, James, we got our application open. When you take our assessment, the assessment will go to our community conductor. Our community conductor serves as a leasing agent as well as your case manager. So it's a twofold thing. Okay. When you sit down with the community conductor and you meet our requirements, because our requirements are not going to be extraneous, but our requirements are going to make sure that we're seeing levels of stability.
Right.
Okay. And so with our requirements, you meet our requirements, you get into one of our houses. But as you take the assessment also asks you about education, job opportunities, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Not only can you get into our housing, but remember, we have a housing boom. We're going to be developing the housing. That means individuals live in the housing and come work for us. As they come work for us, remember, we're still keeping a grip around them to make sure they're successful. So therefore, we're not just connecting with a case manager, send them on their way, and let them meet once a month. It's a whole 360 approach. They learn job developmental skills, leadership developmental skills, because when they come work for Circle Up, we want to build leaders and entrepreneurs. My ultimate goal, and this is going to be crazy when I say this, my ultimate goal is not to have no employees. My ultimate goal is doing business with my employees. My ultimate goal is get them to be contractors in our working model for the development of our affordable living with container homes. As they start to build their own companies, we invest on an 80-20 split. We will put our accountants, we'll also put our attorneys, everything behind them to make sure that individual and that company grow. But it's a working process. We're not just going to give it to you. You got to show us that you're a strong, deserving, and grinding leader, because we want to create wealth for you too. Exactly. My goal is not for you to retire for Circle Up. My goal is to do business with you.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what we're building.
Nice, man. Well, man, hey, there you guys have it, man. You have heard the word from Mr. Wilson here. Circle Up Indy, soon to be Circle Up Podcast. Soon to be on this way. Man, but the lights is on, man. The street lights is on, and we got to go in the house, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. My phone been blowing up. Your phone been blowing up.
Hey, man.
Yeah. I'm trying not to get in trouble. And I'm single. I don't know why my phone blowing up. Man,
we busy, man. We busy people, you know. And man, it's been a pleasure, man, talking to you. I hope that you know, that the block is able to, you know, give you a boost, man, with what you're doing in the podcast, man, and everything in the community that you do, the work that you do. Because, like I said, I that's the reason why you're on here, man. It's because I enjoy what you do.
Thank you, man. I will say this, if I may.
Sure, man.
As we end, I know a lot of people try to figure out what Circle Up is about, what we're doing. But if anybody know me, I move quiet, and I have to. And just know this, we working for you. And what we grade launch and do next, pay attention to the spirit of the city. Because our goal is to launch our first press release the first week of May. But I might launch it sooner. In the spirit of the city, we grade go hard. It ain't going to be a basic press release. We grade put people back against the wall, because this is for us.
All right. There you go. Y'all heard it. Get ready. All right, my man. It was a pleasure, man, having you on, brother.
Always, man.
You already know, man.
And shout out to the block for allowing us to come on and just continue to support the block. And this brother's heart is all about us. And if y'all don't, we're going to bump y'all. No, I'm just joking. Y'all probably beat me up. But let's continue to support one another. Thank you for all the stuff you do. And thank you for always bringing a highlight of what's going on in our city, and our state, and our country, and our community.
Yes.
Love, bro.
Right on, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Love it. Man. I love it. It's cool being around real brothers, man.